You know those days, right, where one little thing goes wrong, and then suddenly it feels like you're just tumbling down this spiral of bad luck? Well, what if I told you that spiral isn't random at all? We're about to get into why that happens, and more importantly, how you can actually flip a switch and turn your luck around, like right now.
So, does this feel familiar? You wake up, you stub your toe, and bam, the whole day just feels cursed. It's that sinking feeling that you're just a magnet for bad stuff. Well, guess what? That feeling isn't just in your head. There's a very real pattern going on here.
Okay, first things first, we need to talk about the bad luck spiral. This is the engine that can take one tiny little annoyance in the morning and somehow turn it into a complete disaster by the time your head hits the pillow. So let's see how this thing actually works.
So the main idea here is pretty simple. The stuff that happens in our lives, it's not totally random. A lot of it is actually a reflection of our internal state, or what some people call our vibration. Now, don't think of this as some mystical, weird force. It's really just your overall mood or your mindset. If your mindset is broadcasting frustration, well, you're going to attract and notice more things to be frustrated about. And you can see exactly how this spiral gets going. It starts with something small, you stub your toe, and you get really annoyed. That feeling of irritation just kind of lowers your whole vibe. Then, because you're in that negative headspace, you attract something a little bit worse. Maybe your boss snaps at you, now you're even more irritated, your vibe drops even lower, and the cycle just keeps feeding itself, getting bigger and bigger with every new thing that happens. This all leads to a really big question, right? Why does it feel like the universe just piles on when you're already having a bad day? Is it trying to make things worse on purpose? The answer is no, not exactly. There's a really basic rule at play here.
And this brings us to what we can call the universe's rule. From this point of view, the universe has two very simple jobs when it comes to your inner state. Its job is to maintain and to magnify.
These two jobs are incredibly simple, but wow, are they powerful. Maintain is kind of like an echo. It just works to keep your emotional state going by bringing you more stuff that matches how you already feel. Then you've got magnify. That's the amplifier. It takes that initial feeling and just cranks the volume way up. A tiny bit of frustration can become full-blown anger. You can see how these two forces just work together to create that out-of-control spiral. So it really all boils down to this. Your emotion is the control switch. Your feelings, whether it's frustration or joy or anger, that's what creates your vibration, which is just the signal you're sending out all the time. A negative signal brings in negative things. A positive one brings in positive things. It really is the engine that's driving this entire system.
Okay, so if emotion is the key, then the obvious next question is, how do we control it? And this is the good part. This is where you get to take back the power, because it turns out you are the one creating the meaning behind everything that happens to you.
Now, this next idea is honestly the most powerful one we're going to talk about. The key is to get this. An event, any event at all, is totally neutral. It has no built-in meaning. Spilling your coffee, missing the bus. On their own, they're not good or bad. They're just things that happened. You're the one holding the paintbrush. You are the one who assigns the meaning to that neutral event. And the meaning you choose is what directly creates your emotional reaction. If you assign a negative meaning, you're going to feel a negative emotion. If you assign a positive one, you'll feel a positive one. This is the exact spot where you take back control and you break that cycle.
All right, I get that this might sound a little bit abstract, so let's walk through a super simple real-world example to see exactly how this works in practice.
So here's the scenario. You're getting ready for your day, and whoops, you accidentally spilled tea all over your pants. A classic minor annoyance. Now remember, this event has zero meaning on its own. It's just spilled tea. And right here, this is the fork in the road. This is where your choice changes absolutely everything. Path 1 is that default negative reaction. This is awful. My day is totally ruined. But path 2, that's a conscious choice to give it a positive meaning. You know what? Maybe this is a sign I just need to take a breather. This little break might even help me come up with a great new idea. The event is identical. The interpretation is everything. So if you choose that negative path, the outcome is pretty predictable. Your emotion becomes frustration, your vibe turns negative, and the universe just does its two jobs: maintain and magnify. All of a sudden, you're stuck in the worst traffic, you get into a silly argument, and the bad luck spiral is in full command. But what happens if you consciously choose that positive interpretation? The entire reality shifts. Your emotion becomes calm, maybe even a little optimistic. Your vibration flips to positive. And just like that, the spiral is broken. Instead of attracting more problems, you actually start attracting new solutions and opportunities. You have actively changed your own luck.
And don't think this is some long, hard process. It is instantaneous. The moment you consciously decide to assign a new, more positive meaning to something, you change your emotion, you change your vibration, and you change what you attract. You can literally flip the switch from unlucky to lucky in one single thought.
And that really just leaves us with a final question. The next time some small, annoying thing happens to you today, and let's be honest, it probably will, how are you going to choose to interpret it? Are you going to let it be the start of that downward spiral, or are you going to use it as your chance to flip the switch and create your own good luck? The power, as always, is entirely yours.